Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Is my mic on? Okay. I need to just close some. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can't hear myself. I think that's fine. Good afternoon. Program Director, thank you for such a beautiful sometimes you sit there and it's like, are they reading about me? I am humbled to be here, chairperson of Noble Leaders Foundation, the board members, Liane, Mr. Ngobese, and other, Mr. Shongweni, and other members who may not be here of the board. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this august occasion. I can hear the echo from where I am. Is the sound fine? Is it fine? Okay, all right. Quickly, I'd like to just plug into what it is that I'm supposed to do upstairs here. I know this will be edited, so I'm going to try the praise not to move for this podium for purposes of the video. All right. Okay. This is Lindo, guys. This is Lindo Ngobese. It's fine, yes. All right. For the cameras, praise, is this correct? Is this fine? We're good. Okay. All right. Image is everything. Image is everything. That's the one thing Mr. Ngobo have learned in business. You know, that perception. Once they create a certain perception about you, you're gone. All right. So image is everything. I'm going to plug into the third chapter of my book. The first book, I think it's on the screen. Yes. Yes, the one that is on your left. The one that's on your left, the Art and Science of Leadership. I'm gonna concentrate on chapter 3 of that book. Perhaps, Mr. Ngobo, if I could get email addresses of everyone attending today, I would like to sponsor the ebook to everyone who's here. All right, so you'll be getting that book. The cost of the book, if you buy a hard copy, it's 250 rands. The one that's on your left. And then if you buy it as an e-book, that is 99 rand. And then the second book, which was released and launched on the 1st of April 2019, the one that is on your right-hand side, it's called the Leadership Journal for Reflection. It's a 365 days of your personal reflection so that you gain mastery. You know, people say, why did you write that book? And I usually say to them, try to reflect for a week, for 5 minutes every day. You will see how difficult it is. But this is what the book teaches you. It teaches you every day to discipline yourself. Set a reminder on Google to remind you to sit down with the book and actually reflect about what went well today, what can I improve, what did I not do well, and then make the necessary changes. All right. So that book, if you buy it as a hard copy, it's 395 rands as a hard copy, and then as an ebook, it is again 99 rand. You're welcome to go to my blog, Mbusi. .blogspot.com. I'm also on the WordPress blog as well. And I was telling Mr. Ngobo and Kungebe that I have set up a goal to have, to have 365 blogs by the 31st of December this year. So which means two blogs a day. And I already started with 2 blogs already. That is, if you go there, you'll see that there's 2 blogs already and counting. All right. So I'm hoping to see you on my blog. I'm hoping that you're going to comment and you're going to ask questions and so on and so forth. And please share the blog as well. All right, so quickly, I'm going to talk about potential. This is the topic that I've been given today. So chapter 3 of my book, it says the balance of internal human forces. I don't know if you have something to write. If you want to jot down a few notes, you're welcome to do that. And this chapter is called the law of potential. Now, why is it called a law? It is because when you are born, there are laws that apply to you as a human being. You're not in a free environment where you can do as you please, right? One such law, for example, is the law of hunger. You will be hungry almost 3 times a day, some of us 4 times a day, but you will be hungry. It's a law, it is embedded in your human constitution, right? So, if you don't respect the laws that apply to your humanness, you are most likely going to have a crash in life. So it's the same with potential as well. As you were born with potential. But whether that potential will be realized is another story altogether. Quickly, let me share a story. A very wise man was visiting the south part of London in the UK, and in a place where he was going to speak, he was a speaker, just like myself, and go to podiums and share with people. He was standing in this old church in England. And then as he was standing there, waiting for the next session of the conference that he was attending and so on, he heard a voice saying, look to your right. And on his right, you know those old churches where there's a cemetery right next to the church? So I was standing there, he saw this cemetery, and the voice said to him, do you see those people lying there? They were never on planet Earth. He said, what does that mean? The voice said, they were never on planet Earth. They came, they were born, they ate, and they died. That was a joke, by the way. Right? They were born, they ate, and they died. And the reason why they did the second part was because they could not avoid it. If they could avoid it, they would not have done it anyway. Let me repeat that. They did the second part, which is eating, because they could not avoid it. But at the level of their, lethargy and apathy and relaxing and being in a comfort zone, they were so relaxed in life that they were almost forced to eat, and that is why they did that activity. Otherwise, they would have been born and then they would have died. And this guy went on to write a book, and he writes about this experience in that book. All right, and that is how I got to know about this story. By the way, the late Dr. Miles Monroe also mentions something similar when he says the graveyard is the richest place on earth. Write this down quickly. The graveyard is the richest place on earth. The richest place on earth is not Santee, it is not the diamond mines, it's not the gold mines, it's not all the places you can think of where there is wealth and minerals and this and that. The richest place in this planet is actually the graveyard. Why? Because in the graveyard there are books that were not written. There are speeches that were not made. There are factories that were not started. There are degrees that were not done. The list is endless. So So by way of introducing this topic, I wanted to tell you these two stories so that you get the gist of what it is I'm going to be talking about. Now, leadership is a balance of two forces. These two forces are embedded within your human constitution. Right. So when we call you a leader, we mean that your identity, check. Your natural endowments, check. You can never be a leader if you have self-doubt. Can never be a leader. Number one. Number two, you can never be a leader if you don't believe in your natural talents, you don't have a passion. And passion is always related to how you are wired. How you are wired. The way that you are wired gives you the passion. So, people ask me, how do I become passionate? Check your natural skills. Check the talents you were born with. Can I offend someone from this podium? Can I offend someone? The reason why you're not getting a job is because you're not living in the area of your passion. Let me say it in another way. There are people who want to pay you because there is genius within you, but they are waiting for you to show your genius. But instead of showing your genius, you are busy looking for a job. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right? So, you were sent through to planet Earth, in other words, with a minimum of 5 natural talents or inherent endowments. How many?
5.
I can't hear you. How many?
5.
How many?
5.
5. So if you look at your hand, buka intende esandla sakho, not inhlanekela, intende esandla sakho, the palm of your hand, right? If you look at your fingers, someone has got 6. Right. If you look at your fingers, that represents the minimum. Somebody say minimum. That represents the minimum number of talents that you came to planet Earth with. You didn't hear me. But guess what? When you finished matric, you went to Technicon, or you went to university, or you went to some college, FET, and so on. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have not, up until now, seriously committed. Leanne spoke about commitment. You have not seriously committed to what burns inside you. That's why today we've got CEOs who are CEOs during the day. They go back and paint during the night and during weekends. Who's with me? Who's understanding what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because they went to study, they found a job, they are highly skilled in their job. Check the word I'm using, highly skilled in their job. But they are not passionate about it because it is not wired in their body. You are, therefore, a colossus. You're a colossus of natural talent. You're not a mouse. You're not just a bite. There was an argument about bites earlier. Bites and bits. You are a colossus of natural talent awaiting discovery. Inside of you, there is a wealth of talent, a wealth of potential just waiting to be discovered. Case in point, in my own life, I have discovered 3 talents. All right? I'm yet to discover the other 2 so that I make up my minimum of what? Of 5. I don't think I will get to the other hand, by the way. Because that is the number of talents you came to planet Earth with. How many?
10.
How many?
10.
But what's the minimum?
5.
5. Am I making sense?
Yes.
There is a song. By B.B. Winans. How many know B.B. Winans? Yeah. They say he sings like me. Joking. There's a song by B.B. Winans. And it's in the album called In Harm's Way, right? It goes like this. I used to think that love was just a fairy tale, and that happiness was like a ship without a sail. But then I met someone who made my dreams come true. My life is now complete, now that there's you. And when you love someone, truly love someone, nothing can take the place of them. You think about them night and day. When you love someone, truly love someone, nothing really matters, just only that you love someone. Oh yes, I do. Now, as I mentioned, there are two gifts or birthrights that you came with, and they separate you and set you apart from the rest of 7.7 billion people in the world today. By the way, that 7.7 billion includes the 100,000 people that died last night worldwide, and 200,000 babies that were born last night, of which, by the way, according to statistics, there's more boys that are born at birth than girls. I wonder where the men disappeared to. Maybe it's jail and drugs and whatnot, and then others die because they have stress because of their women and stuff. Now, the first part of this natural endowment is called identity. All right? And the second is called sorry, let me rephrase that. The first construct that we are talking about is called identity, and the second one obviously is called the natural endowment or your inborn talent. All right? Now, until you define, unpack, analyze, and synthesize your identity, your innate potential and dormant power to lead in the area of your natural gifting will never be realized. So the first order of business in your life, the first item in the agenda of your life, sort out who you are. Who are you? What sets you apart from 7.7 billion people in the world today? Or are you just a copy? Some people live as great originals and some die like mere copies. Even though you are packed with amazing natural talent and gifts, they will never see the light of day. Guess what? Because you do not see yourself in the proper context of why you were sent to this planet. Now, in other words, to become a leader, therefore, you need to change what you believe about yourself. Can you say this to the person next to you? I need to change. Say it. I need to change what I believe about myself. Can you say it again? I need to change what I believe about myself. You also need to change what you believe about others. Let me stop there. You know, most of us do not have a self-concept, we have an other concept. Can I say it in Zulu? Can I say it in Zulu?
Yes.
In other words, they think I'm going to speak in Zulu. In other words, it matters to you what other people think about you. And that is the biggest problem in your life. In my introduction, Mr. Shongweni introduced me as a teacher of personal mastery. And one of the laws of personal mastery, which I live by, is what other people think about me is none of my business. Write it down. Write it down. This is so important for your transformation. This is so important for your next level. What other people think about you is none of your business. All right? And then, so we've spoken about the need to change what you believe about yourself, the need to change what you believe about others, and then also how you interpret the world around you. Your identity is made up of how you define who you are in relation to others and also in relation to how you see the world around you. Right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call the BS. The belief system. Hello? The what? No, the BS. Come, say it. Some of us are full of BS. Hello? Alright? And believe you me, that belief system that you have is not even about you. It is based on what others think about you. Even the way you are dressed for others. You are not dressed for you. Right? Even the cell phone you carry, you don't carry the phone that you like. You carry the phone that is acceptable to others. What has then happened with you is that your potential has now been auctioned off, and it's sitting in the hands of somebody else. And that somebody else has a say in your life. Never ever allow people to dictate what your life should be. You are the CEO of your life. You are the incorporator of your life. I love this statement by this author called Ellen G. White, who says, you are the arbiter of your own destiny. All right? You are the arbiter of your own destiny. In fact, in personal mastery, this is how I phrase it, Mr. Shongweni. When I teach on personal mastery, I say, your life is your fault. Come, say it with me. Your life. When I say my life. Say it, my life is my fault. What does that mean? It means that every decision you make is going to affect your life. Stop letting people dictate your life. Now, self-image. Let's talk about identity a little bit. So, self-image. Self-image gives color to everything else you say or do. Your self-image basically is the light through which you view yourself, you view others, and the world at large. One of my posts, if you go on social media, one of the posts that I've posted recently is a post that says the cardinal sin is self-doubt, or rather, self-doubt is the cardinal sin. In other words, if there's anything wrong you'll ever do in your life today, young person, it is to doubt yourself. The minute you doubt yourself, you have auctioned, you have put a tender out for somebody else to take care of you. Can I tell you the bad news? Can I tell you the bad news? Yes. The Avengers are not coming. Hello? That king of Wakanda, what's his name?
T'Challa.
Sorry?
T'Challa.
That king of Wakanda, that Wakanda movie?
Yes.
What's his name?
T'Challa.
T'Challa. Yeah, T'Challa is not coming to save you. Hello? It is not, he's not. There is no Father Christmas coming to save you. There is no knight in shining armor. You are the CEO of your life. You've got to get up and do something about your life. Okay, you're not getting the joke. You're not getting the joke. All right, but I was really, but on a serious note, I was really blown away by when they described to me. So, because your score is this, these are the people who have the same score as you, and Einstein was there. I was like, really? Wow. Okay, all right. And I don't disagree with the score, by the way. All right. So in other words, when we talk about an endowment, it is something that no one can ever take from you. All right? It can never be taken away from you. Right. Now, let's compare. Let's compare firstly a skill versus an endowment. What is the difference, right? So a skill is gained over time. Say yes if you believe that.
Yes.
As opposed to an endowment or natural talent which you are born with. Now, can I say it in simple English? A skill you gain over time, a talent you are born with, it is instant. Right?
Yes.
In other words, the vocal cords that you heard when I was singing, I was born with that. It was, I didn't get it from somewhere. I was born with it. Right? It's there. I can lower my voice, I can speak, I can sing in this voice. Can you imagine me singing in this voice? Oh, holy night. Right? I can also pitch very high, I can pitch my voice very. Vincero, Vincero. I was born with that. It came with me, I came with it. Who understands what I'm saying? Touch the person next to you if you understand what I've just said. Tell the person next to you it's in me. I might not know it yet. Say it, I might not know it yet. But it's running in the veins. That is what we mean by a talent. That is what we mean by a talent, right? Now, it is also possible to learn a new skill for which, for all intents and purposes, is outside the ambit of your natural talent. So never confuse your degree. Look at me, young people. Look at me. Look at my nice hand. Look at me. Never confuse your what?
Degree.
Your degree or diploma with your what? With your talent. Never to confuse it. Now, Mr. Ngobo, the concept of a job, the concept of work, as we know it, has been, has had a stint of 300 years. Let me repeat that. 300 years ago, we stopped being farmers. We stopped subsistence farming as something that we do as individuals in our homesteads. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
300 years ago. And we started coming to a workplace as in getting hired and getting employed to do a job. So a job is not a natural thing that just happened, by the way. Jobs were created by industrialists. Are you with me? Right? So what you are looking for, when we say the youth is unemployed, 55% of the youth in South Africa is unemployed, we mean something that started 300 years ago. It didn't start from time immemorial. Can I say something? Research is showing that jobs are phasing out. Jobs are what? Phasing out. So as you keep looking for a job, I'm not going to say don't look for a job. As you keep looking for a job, remember what I've just said. And remember today's presentations about planning, about progress, about profit and potential. And potential is something you need to start to believe as something that is within you. All right? Now, I have found that in my leadership, there are many skills that were attractive to the eye, but were not in my area of natural gifting. I found that, Kumalo, each time I learned that foreign skill, and I say foreign because it is not readily available within me. It is foreign. It is something that I bring from the outside into me. So it's a foreign skill. And by nature, any skill you learn is foreign to you. You are not born with it. So each time I learn a foreign skill, I inevitably drift away from it almost instinctively. Someone is getting me. Case in point, I have a postgraduate qualification in financial accounting. Hello. And I never practiced as an accountant. Skubutu, I passed cum laude in University of Natal in financial accounting and business management. How do you call it? But I don't know how to do that thing. You know, instinctively, I walked away from it. Instinctively. Are you with me? By the way, I taught for about 5 years. I taught economics, Mr. Ngo. And I'm made to believe that I produced an economist who's now working for Investec. Right? When I taught economics. Right. So whilst I have the appreciation of the subjects, commercial subjects, I have all the know-how, and I still read and follow the journals and so on. It is not in my area of gifting. Therefore, I am not passionate about accounting. I was passionate about getting a distinction, but not the skill itself. Lastly, a skill can also be a skill can also be an endowment which has been polished and mastered over time, continuously and with meticulousness. This type of skill will tend to stick with the leader since it is deeply embedded within the natural talent of the leader. In broad terms, therefore, when we refer to a skill, we should be referring to an elongated time of a natural talent being practiced in order to achieve personal mastery. In other words, the real skill, what we should call a skill, Mr. Shongwe, is not something that we have been taught. It must be something that we are passionate about, that we have actively taken a decision to polish and make better over time until we achieve personal mastery. How many know Bruce Lee? How many know Bruce Lee? Can I see the hand? Why do you know Bruce Lee? He turned his natural talent into a skill until he became a master. Can you imagine Bruce Lee as a social media manager? Or can you imagine all that skill when you look at Enter the Dragon? You know when he makes those sounds? Can you imagine? It would have been wasted. All right. Let's compare again something called natural attributes or faculties. The concept of attributes can be associated with being allocated, given or assigned to a role or project. Your natural attributes, therefore, are your inherent assignment to planet Earth. The natural ability that you possess, or rather the natural abilities that you possess are a signature on the appointment letter giving you the area of operation, the authority and legitimacy in the world. I want to repeat that. Say it with me. My natural talent is my appointment letter to the job I was sent to planet Earth to accomplish. Can I say it? Can I say it? No one needs to employ you. If they employ you, bonus. Hello? But in reality, you were not sent to Earth to be employed. You were sent to planet Earth to be deployed. Even if you are employed, even if you are within an organization, I've got, what am I saying? Yes, I've got people who say you must never get employed. No, that's not what I'm saying in this presentation. I'm saying, even if you are employed, deploy yourself. Deploy your natural talents. Can I shock you a bit? I would encourage any boss to fire anyone who's working in an area that is not their natural talent. And I wish they had all the budget to fire you and send you away. Even if you go to CCMA, you still lose the case. Because what you experience in the jobs, when you visit these organizations, government departments, businesses out there, all these places, fast food places and so on, what you experience and nauseates you is people who are just looking for money, who are not looking for significance. In other words, they do not work in the area of their gifting. Planet Earth, how am I doing in terms of time? Please signal me. When you came to Planet Earth, you were allocated your area of specialization, the area of authority and excellence. It's the natural attributes. They were allocated to you so that you lead in that area. They were assigned, you were accredited. You don't need accreditation, you were accredited. There's a term from our other book, imputed. All right? Your account is already debited. No. It's already credited with skill. Hello? It's already what? Credited with the skill. And ascribed to your life's account way before you were born. Way before you were born. In other words, the Creator, I'm afraid of calling him God. Let's just call him the what? The Creator. The Creator doesn't wait for you to be born and then says, I wonder what I will do with this one. Angels, what can we do with this one? He's born. No. By the time you are conceived, the Creator already has an assignment for you to do. Can I tell you the secret? You are the only one who can do it the way you do it. Out of 7, can you imagine? Out of 7.7 billion people, look at your fingerprints. Look at your fingerprints. Out of 7.7 billion people in the world, you are the only one who has these fingerprints, this set of fingerprints. And going back to the first human being, no one has ever had a fingerprints like yours. That's how necessary you are to planet Earth. In fact, there has never been you in eternity past. There's no one like you today, and there will never be like you in eternity future. So stop looking for quality confirmation from others. Your quality is inherently held within you, in your natural talents. You have the correct features. You have the correct traits. You have the right elements for your assignment. You are the right complexion. You have the right hair. Hello? Hello? You know, some women have big boobs. Right? Double TT. Isn't it? Lalel, you are the right size. You are the right height. You have the correct texture of voice. Hello? You are enough, you are complete, you are ready for the what? For the assignment. That's why you were not born in America. That's why you were not born in India, you were born here. Even though you are of Indian origin, or descent rather. But there's a reason why you were born here. The reason why you were born here, the reason why you are here is because there is an assignment for you to do here. The reason why they need to accredit you is because you are not operating within the area of your natural specialization. Let me repeat that, Kumar. The reason why they need to accredit you is because they don't trust you. Why they don't trust you? Because you are not passionate. Why are you not passionate? you're not operating in the area of your passion. You're just doing it because you must also get a job and get some money. All that happens in your professional profile are the certificates, the odd jobs, all that appears in your profile, just, over the years, this is where you've been, this is what you've done. But it does not define, it does not show the power and the fire that is within you. Right. Let's synthesize these talents and this identity. Listen carefully. The combination of these two forces, the combination of these two forces produces a power that is unrivaled.